Hello, Arlette.
Hi, Lilou.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
I heard great things about your practice, your intuition, and the course, and how you're helping people with their life goals.
That's right, yes.
This is wonderful. So tell us, how do you see, first of all, intuition? What is it for you?
Ooh.
And how is it important?
Yeah, what is intuition? It's,
Where does it come from?
It's like when you make contact with your, some people say with their heart.
Yeah.
Other people would say with their subconscious, or with your, I like to say with your higher self, or with your true self.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's clear enough for people.
Yeah, like higher intelligence, something else.
Yeah, well, I always see it as something that's within you.
Yeah.
But that's the truth for you. And if you listen to that piece of you that knows everything about you and everything that's good for you and how you should run your life, and if you know how to attune to that part inside of you, and you make decisions based on, your higher self, or some people call it your inner voice, then life can be magical. Life will develop and will
Unfold.
That's a good word. Exactly the way that is right for you will make you happy. Yeah. So intuition is very important.
Yeah. So how did we lose this faculty to listen to this inner voice?
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that when I walked over here. How come we just lose this? But I think we probably have. Yeah, I'm sure we all have it when we're born, but it doesn't. No one ever pays attention to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say no one, but it's in this, especially in Western society, it's not something that you teach your children.
No.
Or most people don't anyway. And now I guide students in the age of 15 to 19 with their choice for study.
Oh, cool.
But, so much attention.
What a great age to learn that.
Yeah, so much attention and effort is being put into using your mind, at school, and training your mind and your brain, and making decisions based on that. But there's no real focus on, listen to your heart, or listen to your inner voice. There's none of that.
Yeah.
Well, that actually, when you learn that from a young age, I'm sure that life will be so easy for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always know when to make the right decisions, and things are never hard. You just flow through life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can we start listening more to our intuition? What does it sound like? What is it like? What are some good practice to help us tap into that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, so everyone has intuition. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Some people think it's a gift or something special, but everyone has this gift, and everyone's special.
Yeah.
Everyone has intuition. That's people just have to accept that.
Uh-huh.
That's
different levels probably of development.
It's like if you can use your eyes, you can see, right? But my partner, I always say he's got a hawk's eyes, but he can see things from far, far away, and I'm not very good at that. So, there are different levels in that way too, using your other senses.
Yeah.
So also probably your intuition. But how you can train your intuition and get back into contact with that is different ways for different people. For some people it's important to go back into nature, and just be alone and not be focused anymore on other people, but just be focused on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's a type of meditation. And meditation, of course, helps too.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens with meditation is that you become completely calm, and you focus on your body, and you try to quiet your mind. You try to quiet that chatter and that
Yeah.
that voice that tries to tell you what to do, not to do. But that's different than your inner voice or your higher self. So meditation does help. what also helps, which looks like meditation, is visualizations or guided imagery. That really helps.
Yeah.
And if you've never tried that before, I'm sure on the internet there's a lot of information about it. But there are also, you know, books that can, with guided meditations or imagery, really help.
So when we have like a choice, like there's, we have, it's either this direction, I accept this job, or I move in this city, or I go for this project. How and what should we do to check what's the right way? Or is there a right way? Is the intuition going to help us there?
Yeah, intuition.
How can we do? Is there something that we can do to check that it's really coming from the right place?
If you use meditation or imagery, let's say you have a choice and you visualize yourself making one of the choices. And the most important thing is to clear your mind and not influence the images with your mind, but just let the image sort of take its course and take over. And that's your intuition taking over. And then you just, but what's very important as well is intention. So what do you want to know about making this choice? If it's a good choice, or where will this choice bring you? You know, and let the images tell you what will happen. Right? So you can do it in that way. Some people use muscle response testing. So they use their body to tell them what the answer is. And other people, what you can do is visualize like a dial. I don't know if you've done that before. Like a yes and a no dial. And let your intuition speak to you in that way.
Yeah.
And that, but what's very important, what people shouldn't forget, is always to be very grounded when you do these things.
Yeah.
And because if you're not grounded, you're going to make mistakes. And grounded means that you're really relaxed, peaceful, that you feel as if you stand with both your feet on the ground, and what else? That you feel that you're really balanced and neutral. You have to be neutral. If you ask yourself or ask your intuition to tell you what choices are good for you, you need to be neutral. You need to be open to all the answers, and not be judgmental about any of the answers. If you go into this and ask your intuition to tell you the answer, you can't go into this thinking, I'm sure I should choose option B, or because option A is a stupid option. Because then you lose your neutrality, and in that way you're using your mind, your ratio, to influence your choices or your visualization. Then your mind takes over from your intuition. And that's the hard part, for us humans, to turn off your mind.
Turn it off,
But things like meditation.
So it's really a place from the heart. It's really the heart that tells you. It's a soft, gentle voice that feels. It feels right.
And it feels right when you hear it.
It makes sense. It's fluid.
It feels right. Some people have this inner, knowledge that tells them, oh yeah, of course, that's the answer. I knew that all along. It can come to you in many different ways, really.
And some people is image, I guess.
Some people like to use images. Other people start to hear things.
Yeah.
So you can use your intuition different ways.
How does your work?
Images and a voice and an inner sort of a knowing. And some people use more feeling.
Yeah.
So some people get a really good feeling if they think about the good choices or the right options for them. But you shouldn't confuse that with your emotions.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part, eh? And for that, to make that distinction, you need to be grounded.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Tell us, you studied quantum physics a little bit. Can you tell us about the energy and how everything in the universe is energy? Is that what quantum physics tells us? Or?
Yeah, I didn't study quantum physics.
But you're interested about the topic.
Yeah, I'm interested in sort of the overlap between quantum physics and like the spiritual world and sort of the insights it give you. On the quantum level,
so even to the but like even to the smallest, everything is energy.
Yeah, like on the quantum level, which is the smallest particle of the material universe, like things you can touch.
Yeah.
Right. On the smallest level, that what's left, that particle is both matter and energy. It constantly changes between matter and energy. So that what we think is matter is actually also energy. That's what it comes down to. You know, we see this as matters, things we can touch. But underneath this, there's sort of a sea of energy. And the properties of energy, different than properties of matter, make it that energy doesn't know any boundaries. You could say it just flows. So everything that you see here around in the world, you can also see as energy. And when you see things like that, it opens up, it gives you a very different way of looking at the world, because emotions are energies, your thoughts are energies, and you can actually influence energy by energy. Yeah. But this is everything in a nutshell. I don't know if that's...
No, I mean, yeah, it is, because I saw on your website something about core quantum exercise, or...
the core quantum method.
Method. So what is that then?
The core quantum method, that's actually...
is it related to quantum physics?
Well, it's based on the idea of quantum physics, that everything is energy, and that we're all connected on that energy level, that quantum level, because everything is energy. And you can influence energy by energy, so you can influence actually matter with your thoughts, because thoughts are energy too, and emotions are energy, everything's energy. And what we can use as humans are our thoughts or emotions to influence things.
Yeah.
So let's say, how to explain this?
Or how do we use it, and how can we use this method in life?
Very easy example, I think, is just, when you use positive thought in your life, you can actually physically change your world.
Yeah.
If you start to look at the world in a positive way, and you also start to expect things, to expect that things will turn out in a positive way, that's what will happen most of the time.
I like that. And then I saw something about NMT.
Yeah, NMT, that's a neuromodulation technique. So that's another method.
Is it complementary?
Yeah, it's a complementary medicine. It's a type of energy healing that also looks at the world as if it's an energy, but in NMT they talk more about information, that everything in this world is information. And with your intention, so that's the thoughts again that we talked about, with your intention and a mental focus, you can actually change information or change energy. That means that, let's say if someone has a complaint, let's say an allergy or another illness or pain, that you can also look at that as sort of disturbed energy or a type of energy. You can change that with your thoughts. The person itself can change that, but also as an outsider, from a distance, you can actually influence that.
So you could change the information that it's giving. You can reprogram and...
you can see it as reprogramming that information. Yes, yeah. And you all do this with intention. And NMT is a very structured way of doing this, and CQM, so the core quantum method, is kind of similar, but a very simple way. If you find a fault or you could say like an energy blockage, I don't know if that term says anything to you, in someone you can just say correct, and it corrects itself. And in NMT that process is a bit longer, but at the end of the day it's all about intention and also attention. So you give attention to the person and the problem. You find the problem and then with intention you correct it. It sounds very abacadabra.
No, that's what Deepak Chopra also says this.
Yeah, it's really this simple, the way I tell you.
Well, it's all about us being co-creators, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
And saying that we have a say in the matter.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we have a say in the matter.
We do.
Yeah.
That's a good news. So, and you also work with dogs.
Yes, yeah, I love working with animals, and I mostly work with dogs. I started off with NMT, neuromodulation technique, helping dogs with behavioral problems.
Yeah.
And so these were dogs from shelters in Spain and Greece. You know, often they don't have a good start in life.
Yeah.
And they get adopted by people in the Netherlands or elsewhere, and they find that they have some behavioral problems like fears, and I helped those dogs with NMT. Yeah. And
so you communicate with them.
Yeah, you can communicate with.
And you reprogram.
With their, you could say, with their subconscious or their other than conscious mind, or some people would call it the soul or the higher self, whatever you call it. It doesn't matter. But you can connect with that, find the issues that are causing the problem, and then with your intention and attention you can fix it.
So what's interesting here is that you're saying somebody else can do it for you. You don't have to do it. I mean, that I get, because if you do it with a dog, you do this with human beings. Yeah. So it's not just us. It has an effect on the dog that doesn't really, he's not putting his intention or attention on something. You're doing it for him.
Yeah.
So with human beings, it's also the case then.
Yeah.
You are the one that is resetting that for people.
Yeah, that's right.
And people don't have to do anything to maintain it or to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, is that enough?
But it's a good question actually, because you see that in my experience, that NMT works for a lot of people, but for some people it doesn't, because they need to figure things out for themselves. That it's a better, or it would be better for them to sort of really take part of the healing and go through that process. And then you have other people that don't really need to get that involved. They just need to know what went wrong or what the issues are, but they don't need to take part in the correction of the issue. Yeah. But it's true that you have people that really need to take part in the whole healing process, and then NMT is less suitable.
Yeah.
Say. But with dogs, it's usually not such a big problem.
No.
I have to say that animals are a lot easier than
and is it
people.
easier on children?
And easier on children, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Does it also work for people? Do you also work with people that have diseases?
I do.
Physical illness?
Yeah, but I don't. I mostly do dogs, and then I do the life goal sessions. So I work with my intuition to tell people what their life goals are.
So tell us about that.
Well, that's a session where I look for people's life goals. And life goals, the definition of life goals for me is that what makes you happy.
Yeah.
So it can be anything. You know?
From your dream job to your dream life.
Can be work, can be sports, can be animals, can be children, family, hobbies, creativity, spirituality, growth, development. Yeah. But also, of course, sometimes fixing problems in your life because they stand in the way of becoming happy. Yeah, and your dream job. But I have to say, not everyone. It doesn't. That may not sound that nice, but not everyone has a dream job. So not everyone needs work or a job to be happy. That's what that means. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I guess, yeah, not everybody, I mean, and it depends how you define job.
And it depends on.
I don't feel like I'm working right now yet, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
So how do you go about it? Because I guess there's some blockages that you encounter. You working with the subconscious on the subconscious level, or how do you get those? Level. How do you get that information?
Well, do you know when I told you about using meditation or visualization, or you know, becoming really grounded and relaxed to get in contact with that inner voice or that true self, the higher self, or your heart? You can do that also with other people. So whether you do this for yourself or others, it doesn't actually matter. Because you know, when we talked about the quantum level, that we're all connected. So whether I do this for me or for you, it doesn't really matter. It's
cool work then.
We're all the same.
Yeah.
So that's what I do in the live call sessions. I always explain it as I tune into someone's other than conscious mind or subconscious, and I ask the subconscious, you know, what are your life goals? What do you need in life to be happy? And then I see images or hear things.
Could you connect pretty quickly and do it right now, for example, with me?
I can, yes, but I usually need to meditate beforehand.
Yeah.
So it's a little
There's
harder
a bit of a preparation.
Right, yeah. But I'm sure you're doing your life goal right now. I'm sure because I already checked.
Yeah? What makes you think that?
I just know. Yeah. It's that.
That's the intuition.
It's the intuition that, you know, the knowing. That I know, yeah, she's doing the right thing. Yeah.
Cool. And then there's some blockages, because some of us are on the path, and then there's some things that seems to hold us back from fully living what we see that we can be living.
Yeah.
So where those come from for you?
They can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Blockages can come from anywhere. Yes, they can come from your parents, from your own expectations, from your experiences, from your emotions, or.
And we have to deal with them, or is it just someday they just disappear, and we really have some work to do here to heal them?
Some people have more blockages than others, and some of them really stand in the way of being happy. Some of them stand in the way of getting really in contact with your true self, and I guess those are the type of blockages that you need to address. Mm-hmm. But I guess if you want to be happy in life, you want to go, you want to clear up as many blockages as you can, right? It's not always fun, and sometimes it is. I actually see it as for myself, always as a fun, maybe it sounds strange, but a fun thing to do. Mm-hmm. Look for blockages and clear them. But everyone has them. Some of them are big, some of them are small. They can come from anywhere. A lot of them you get from just your youth, the way you're being raised, but also expectations of others, or your prejudices, your fears. Can be anything, traumas, and more. Sometimes you find some more spiritual blockages or esoteric blockages too, like astrological influences or karma or past life. It can be anything. Whether you believe in it or not, it's a different matter. But those things you find if you try to,
So is there some common blockages with a certain generation or type of people that you find in your work?
That's a good question, actually.
Because we could, as souls coming on this planet right now, maybe we're facing some kind of similar blockages, maybe that come up. I was just wondering if you're seeing some patterns.
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen patterns, to be honest with you. But it's a very interesting thought, and it's probably something I'm going to look into more, because I spoke to a client of mine that she works with young people. She's like a social worker, and she works with 12 to 20-year-olds, I guess. That's the sort of the age bracket. And she says she definitely has seen a change in the type of children that come for help. A lot of children have problems with their feelings, and it seems like they're a bit more sensitive to everything that's going around them, and no one seems to be able to meet their needs. And so that gave
More
me,
what some people call indigo child, or
yeah, that made me think of the
actual children.
the
you
new
call
age children, or
the new waves of kids with a different type of intelligence.
Yeah, that's right.
Intelligence probably not being the word, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's maybe these children have always been there, but they get more room to present themselves. I don't know if it's clear, but we as people, we will get more sensitive and more.
Yeah.
We're allowed now to talk about emotions. 100 years ago, we weren't.
Yeah.
Right. So those type of children, the more.
They're showing up now.
They can show themselves more now, and we notice them more. Before we didn't.
Yeah, or we give them medicine too, because we thought that was like dysfunctional, or we thought that they were a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas they have some other kind of intelligence.
Right. And probably in the old days we probably just told them to shut up and do their homework and then go to work and live life and be really busy, and that's it. And people have more time now to.
But it feels like it's important to give people or those kids more space to communicate and just know that they're normal and it's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Arlette, it's been so nice meeting you. So nice connecting.
Yeah.
Is there a last little word or message that you would like people that are watching this to know or hear or act upon?
Yes, what I said before is that that intuition, it's not a vague thing. It's like everyone has this, and everyone can learn how to use it. And the same with using healing energies or energy work. It's not for the gifted. It's for everyone on this planet. It's not something weird. Everyone can learn it, and I think that's the message I want to give.
Thank you.
To sort of push people to start searching.
To pursue that and use it really as a tool that is much needed right now.
Right, because it's also very practical.
It saves you time.
It saves you time, it makes your life a lot easier and makes you a happier person. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.